Infuriated by our actions, he threw the duster at us, which narrowly missed my head by a hair's breadth. Disgusting behavior, he yelled. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It is said that passion is the genesis of a genius, isn't it? But here, passion had driven my friend Navi and myself to the extent of being dismissed from the class. Clueless about what I'm saying, is it? Yes. Let's rewind and relive the rustic incident. You both have become so brazen that you've forgotten the manners to even stand up when I'm talking to you, shouted my professor. I jolted back from trance and tried to stand up, but realized that fear had paralyzed me into inaction. My feet staggered, like that of a child trying to stand up for the first time. Internally, I was also fighting my greatest enemy, my tears, trying hard to imprison them within my eyelids. Humiliation had made me look as red as a tomato, my friends told me later. I started feeling hot inside when my professor started approaching us. He came close to my friend, snatched the chit away, and signaled us to walk out of the room. Do not show me your faces till I meet your parents tomorrow, he said. I quietly walked out of the room and my friend followed suit. As I walked out, tears started gushing down my cheeks. I stood in the corridor and wept inconsolably. But my friend Nidhi seemed as cool as a cucumber. She said, "Why are you crying when it isn't our fault?" But mindless of what she was saying, I continued weeping. My professor came out of the classroom and walked towards the staff room without even noticing us. "Sir!" We ran behind him, but our words disappeared into a black hole without even being heard of. We followed him. He entered into the staff room and slammed the door shut behind him. We dared not enter. We stood in the corridor and started waiting for him. My friend Nidhi seemed annoyed with my behavior. "Come on, Chaitra. It's only prejudice. I'm sure when we talk to him, we can overcome that," she said. Prejudice? My jeopardized mind could not even recollect the meaning of the word. Suddenly it struck me. Pride versus Prejudice by Jane Austen. But how on earth could Nivi relate this incident to prejudice? I thought. My professor came out of the staff room, now looking relaxed. He looked at us straight into the eye and said, "You last benchers are spoiled brats. All you can do is sit on the last bench and distract the whole class." Nivi winked at me as though she had made her point. It so happened that a few days before the incident, we had shifted from the first bench to the last bench. And my professor was prejudiced with the thought that all last benchers can do is distract the class. And that day, our action of passing chits during the class had only affirmed his belief. Nabi said, "But sir, please read the chit once before you say something." Professor opened the chit and started reading it. And as he read it, his frown transformed into a smile. "Back to the class, you little imps," he said. "And yes, no need to bring your parents tomorrow. I shall speak to them myself." We ran back to the class with joy. The next day, in the class, first of all, he apologized for his unruly behavior, and then exemplified our passion and made the class applaud for us. Now, let me spill the beans. It so happened that microprocessors, the subject which our professor taught, was our favorite subject. We were very passionate about mastering the subject. We used to listen to each and every class of his with rapt attention. But in that particular day, it so happened that one statement made by my professor contradicted the statement that he had made the previous day. Nibby looked at me confused, and in order not to disturb the class, she passed me a chit, stating, "Confusing, isn't it?" Yes, contradictory statements between yesterday and today, I had replied in the chit. What shall we do? Shall we ask him? She had asked again in the chit. No, let's read the book once and then ask, I had replied back. This incident had a great takeaway for me. I learned two great things in life. One, not to overreact to situations and make problems your predicaments. It's okay sometimes to differ in opinion from someone and voice your opinion. You only need to have the correct way to do it. Second was what my title is. When it's passion versus prejudice, it is surely passion that wins. Over to you.